Hello everyone, I'm Em, welcome to TechBlock. Today we are going to be doing an updated setup tour for April of 2018. I did a video just like this back in December of 2017, and here we are 5 months later doing an updated version of the setup. A lot of things in the setup have changed since December of 2017, so today I'm going to be covering pretty much every single item I have in my setup right here, as well as like changes that I've made over the past couple of months and stuff. So I hope you enjoy the video.
Alexa, turn off desk.
Okay.
Hope you enjoyed watching that little montage right there of the setup. We should probably begin the video by actually turning the setup back on. So Alexa, turn on desk. There we go, everything is turned back on thanks to Alexa. So if any of you are wondering how I just turned on my LED strips, my monitors, and my soundbar via Amazon Echo, I'll have a video link down below as well as a card in the top right corner that you guys can press and check out my video of the TP-Link Smart Plug review, as well as like a USB powered smart LED strip. I've got all sorts of cool tech here that is all linked down below. So anything that you see in this video, including my monitors, LED strips, pretty much everything you see in this video is linked down below in the description for your convenience using Genius links. So if you are in the UK, it will take you to the Amazon UK store. If you're in Germany, it's going to take you to the Amazon Germany store. So you're welcome for all that. Those links take me hours to set up. So hopefully you put them to good use. But now that all that's been said, let's actually continue on with the setup tour. So, I'm not entirely sure where to begin, but as you saw earlier, I did turn on my LED strips, my monitors, and my soundbar via my Amazon Echo. However, I can also do that via my phone, via an app called TP-Link Casa. So at the moment I have lights, I have lamp, that's in the kitchen, monitors, as well as my soundbar. And I have some other things as well controlled via Magic Hue. But this is an app I use to control LED strips around the house. I have my desk lights, which is my LED strip behind my desk, as well as my subwoofer light, which is a USB powered smart LED strip in the corner of my room right here that works with Amazon Echo, as well as an app on your phone. So a very cool USB powered LED strip that is decently bright actually. So I've currently got the LED strip plugged into a 3-socket power extension that also has 6 USB ports, and that's sitting just behind the subwoofer there in the corner of my desk. And that powers my LED strip, my soundbar, my Amazon Echo, as well as my Logitech G920 steering wheel power that needs an actual power source to power the steering wheel. I play Euro Truck now and again and I need to use a steering wheel and some pedals, so it's like really immersive. And I also play Euro Truck across all 3 monitors, by the way, on my GTX 970, which somehow is still holding up relatively well. It is a pretty outdated graphics card now, and my CPU is also pretty outdated. It is the i7-4770. However, you know, things aren't really like too bad. I can still edit all of my videos in 4K. I have no problems playing Euro Truck, Counter-Strike, or Fortnite, or any games really. As the GTX 970 is still a pretty capable card, I suppose. It is getting a little bit old now. However, you know, things are still pretty good at the moment. I do plan on upgrading my entire rig in the very near future, and that will involve me switching platforms entirely from Intel over to AMD Ryzen. I'm most likely going to be picking up the AMD 1800X CPU, getting like 32 gigabytes of G.Skill RGB RAM. Of course, I need to get a new motherboard as well, and most likely a new graphics card. So that would be a very, very expensive upgrade. Ideally, I'd like to swap out my CPU cooler for the NZXT Kraken X62 as well, as that has some very pretty RGB lights, and pairing that CPU cooler with some NZXT Air RGB fans would be very, very nice as well. But keep in mind that would be an extremely expensive system upgrade that would probably cost me more than £2,000. So probably in the next 6 to 12 months I'll actually begin upgrading the system. Chances are I'm most likely going to pick up the NZXT fans as well as the CPU cooler first before upgrading the actual platform, as RAM is expensive, graphics cards are crazy expensive, motherboard and CPU combo, that's not too expensive. I think the RAM is going to cost more than the CPU, as it is 32 gigabytes of G.Skill RGB RAM, and oh my god, I think that costs around £460, maybe more. RAM's very expensive nowadays, as most of you probably already know. But now that that's all been said about the PC, all my PC specs are linked down below. If you're wondering what case I'm using, it is the NZXT H700i RGB case that has NZXT Hue Plus built into it. I did buy some NZXT Hue Plus extension LEDs as well that I've mounted down there as well as like along here, so they look real cool. The PC looks gorgeous at night with all sorts of like flashing LEDs pretty much everywhere. Taking a look underneath the PC, you will find that I have a 4-port USB 3.0 hub right here, as well as an SD card reader right here for my G7X Mark II that I'm recording this on. All my videos in the past used to be recorded on an iPhone, however since I've upgraded to an actual camera, I did need to also buy an SD card reader so I could read the files off of the SD card and actually import them into my PC. So I've picked that up, I've stuck the SD card reader underneath the desk, and right next to it I have my 4-port USB 3.0 hub from Anker that I mentioned earlier. It is a very convenient place to have these USB ports here. However, I feel like I'm either going to relocate it or buy another 4-port USB hub and place it probably around here, as this I feel like would be a more convenient place for me to plug things into instead of reaching all the way over here underneath my PC. So I feel like I'm probably going to be relocating this entire setup or just buying like a separate one and putting it right here, which chances are I'm going to probably do that, as this is a 2-meter IKEA Linmon desk and it's a big desk, you know, it's 2 meters long, so stretching all the way from here to there isn't like the most convenient thing. It's much better than actually reaching over to the top of the PC right here and manually plugging things in, but I'm not sure if this is the most convenient place to have these USB ports, as I feel like they would be better relocated there. Moving on, let's go ahead and take a look at all the peripherals that I have around my setup right here. Beginning with the mouse. So over here I have the Razer Mamba Hyperflux mouse paired with the Razer Firefly Hyperflux wireless charging mousepad. Now, that's a very long name for a mouse and mouse mat combo. However, this is most likely the coolest mouse and mouse mat combo that you have ever seen. So, the way it all works is that this mouse mat right here generates a magnetic field all around it, allowing it to power the mouse wirelessly, which is super convenient as you never have to worry about the battery on your wireless mouse dying. Now, this mouse is very different though. It doesn't actually have a battery inside. It just has a capacitor that lasts roughly 10 seconds. So if I pick the mouse off the mouse mat and we wait roughly 10 seconds or so, you will see that the LEDs on the mouse will turn off as the mouse is no longer receiving power. So just give it a couple more seconds, there we go, it's turned off, and if we pop it back onto the mouse mat, you will see that the LEDs are turned back on, and the mouse is once again working just fine. So it can hold the charge for around 10 seconds or so, but no more than that, as the mouse has no battery inside, which is a problem for some people. However, because there is no battery inside the mouse, that makes the mouse extremely light. So light in fact that I can blow air at the mouse and it will move across the mouse mat. Like, the mouse is super light, it is very ergonomic, and it features a 5G 16,000 dpi optical sensor from Razer. Now this sensor is by far the best sensor that I have ever used, and I've gone through tons of different Razer mice. Back in 2012 I picked up the Razer Naga Epic mouse, and ever since then I've been using wireless mice. Shortly after the Razer Naga Epic died, I picked up the Razer Mamba 2015 wireless mouse, which I've been using for roughly 2 years or so, and this mouse was very cool. Even to this day, this is probably one of the best looking mice out there, thanks to the string of LED lights on the side right here, as well as on the scroll wheel, but this mouse wasn't entirely perfect. The battery life isn't the best on a mouse that has tons of LED lights all over it, and the mouse is also quite heavy, which can be a problem for some people, wasn't a problem for me, but the battery life is something that I really wish could have been better. One problem with this mouse was that sometimes I'd forget to charge overnight. So I'd leave it on the mouse mat, I'd wake up, and the mouse would have no battery whatsoever, which would suck. So I would either have to plug the mouse in via wired mode, by plugging a micro USB cable at the front of the mouse right here, and then having to use the mouse in wired mode, but that would trigger me a lot, as that would leave a cable running along like my entire desk, ruining my beautiful cable management work right here. So that was very annoying, and it was either that or I pop the mouse onto the charging dock right here and wait a couple of hours for it to charge up. So yeah, that kind of sucked. Shortly after, I upgraded to the Razer Lancet mouse, which unfortunately didn't have any charging dock at all. The only way to charge this mouse was via a cable that you plug into the front of the mouse right here. Once again, a micro USB cable. Luckily, the charging times are pretty quick on this mouse. And by the way, the battery on this mouse only lasts around 10 to 15 hours. So once again, not the greatest. So every single day, you'd pretty much have to plug the mouse in via a wired connection to prevent the battery from dying. And unfortunately, that left me plugging in the mouse and leaving it in wired mode for the majority of the time, which really sucked, as this mouse was very good. I used it for many months and I experienced no tracking issues thanks to Razer's adaptive frequency technology that is implemented into this mouse. The sensor on the mouse wasn't the greatest. It is the 5G laser sensor, I believe the exact same sensor that we have on the Razer Mamba mouse right here. So the laser sensors are known for like a bug with one of the axes. Basically, it's not the best sensor out there. The optical sensors are phenomenal to use. There are literally zero problems with the sensor. It is so accurate. I can't say enough good things about the Razer Mamba Hyperflux, which is the 2018 edition mouse. It is genuinely flawless. So that's pretty much it about my mice. So basically, the technology over the past couple of years for wireless mice has improved tremendously. You don't really have to worry about like latency or like even your battery dying on your wireless mouse anymore. So things have really gone quite far in the past 6 years or so, ever since I've been using wireless mice myself. But this mouse right here, flawless. The best mouse I have ever used by far. The one thing that they could improve on is perhaps some more RGB LEDs, you know, like here and there. But apart from that, amazing mouse. Moving on to my keyboard, also from Razer, and I'm gonna get tons of comments, as I do in all of these videos, calling me a Razer fanboy. I'm sorry, I'm in their ecosystem. They have a nice keyboard, I like their switches, I like the Razer Synapse 3.0 software, thanks to all their macros, and I use tons of different macros. I've been using Razer products for 6 years, as I've said earlier, so I've been in their ecosystem for a long time. I don't plan on leaving it anytime soon, so my apologies to all of you that hate Razer and only love like Corsair or Logitech. Sorry about that, I like Razer, you know, just deal with it. Right, so the keyboard I currently have here is the Razer Black Widow Chroma version 2 mechanical keyboard with the Razer green switches, which are loud and tactile. Here's a little sound test for you. Right, so there's your little sound test for the keyboard. Now you may be wondering why some of the keys sound different to the other keys. And that's because like I've silenced, I guess maybe like half of the keys on the keyboard using Razer's O-rings that I got for free when I bought the keyboard, which was very nice of them. So yeah, each individual key, or at least most of the keys on this keyboard, are silenced so that they're not too loud and obnoxious. But nevertheless, this is a very nice keyboard. I love the feel of the keys and the sound that they make, especially now that they've been silenced ever so slightly thanks to the green O-rings around each mechanical key switch. On the left-hand side of the keyboard right here, we have 5 dedicated macro keys right here, ranging from M1 to M5. If my camera would focus on the keys, that would be brilliant. So these keys are used every single day by me. They are extremely useful, as you probably know with macro keys. You can program them to do just about anything, really. I've automated mine to perform tasks in Adobe Premiere when I'm editing videos on YouTube. I also use these keys every single day whenever I'm compiling a link via Genius Links that I use in the description of all of my videos right here on YouTube. So these macro keys save me a tremendous amount of time, and thank you Razer for including them on the side of the keyboard. Pairing the macro keys with Razer Synapse 3 software right here, the experience is genuinely amazing. The macro keys are super easy to set up and record. You can customize them like crazy. You can jump into Razer's Chroma Studio right here and customize the LEDs on each individual key, on each section of your mouse mat and mouse. It's beautiful. Their software is the best it's ever been in a long time. Everyone working at Razer has been working really hard on their software, as this has been improved tremendously over the past couple of years or so. We used to have Razer Synapse 2.0, however this is Razer Synapse 3.0, which has integration with Razer Chroma, macro keys, as well as Philips Hue. I think they announced their collaboration back in CES of 2018, which was very cool, as you can now pair your Philips Hue like lighting kit with your Razer Chroma products and control your Philips Hue lights from within the Razer Chroma Studio, which is super cool. Now I do plan on actually picking up myself some Philips Hue kits and lighting kits and LED strips and LED bulbs and all sorts of stuff from Philips Hue in the future, but at the moment I'm currently just using some cheap LED strips behind my desk. as well as for my subwoofer and radiator right here. And yes, my radiator does have RGB LED lights. It's the coolest radiator you'll ever see. And yeah, my room does look like a nightclub from outside, which is pretty funny, I suppose. Taking a look at the right hand side of the keyboard, we have a 3.5mm headphone pass-through port, as well as a USB 2.0 port that I'm currently using for a Bluetooth 4.0 adapter, so that I can pair my headphones with my PC. And you may be wondering, what headphones? I don't see any headphones in your setup right here. I just see 3 mice, a keyboard, and some other stuff. So I'm currently using wireless Apple AirPods right here that I picked up a while ago with my iPhone right there. So these are very, very nice. The battery life on them is pretty good. Unfortunately, these aren't going to be like a permanent solution for headphones, as this is generally all I have at the moment. I used to have a Razer Kraken headset that I gave away to my mum, so ever since then I've just been using either my soundbar, which we'll get to in just a second, or these Apple AirPods right here that have been very nice to use. I will be upgrading to an actual pair of headphones in the near future, don't you worry. I will most likely get a wireless pair of headphones either from Razer or some other company. Ideally, I'd like if Razer would release some wireless charging headphones that you could like place onto a dock and the headphones would just charge themselves overnight. That would be amazing. However, I don't think they're actually going to do that anytime soon. For example, like the Razer Kraken Hyperflux edition would be super cool, as I did have a Razer Kraken headset and it was very, very comfortable to use. I like the sound quality of it, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, ideally I'd like a wireless headset that I'm probably going to pick up in the next a couple of months or so. As Apple AirPods, as nice as they are, they're not the perfect pair of earphones for a setup like this, I suppose. Moving on, we have my wireless phone charger from Anker. Now this is a very, very nice charger. I picked this up for around £15 on Amazon, and it is very, very nice. So all I have to do when I want to charge my phone is I pop my phone on the stand, and voila, it is charging. It's as simple as that really. Super convenient. It is a real cool addition to the setup. I would not want to charge my phone like any other way really, other than the stand, just because of the convenience that it adds to my setup. You may have also noticed that you don't really see any keyboard cables or even a cable from my mousepad and mouse. And that's because I've drilled 2 holes in my desk to hide my keyboard wire as well as my mouse mat wire. Now, taking a look at the hole right here, it is a poorly drilled hole that I've kind of like tried to hide with electrical tape. You can check out the video of me actually drilling the holes in my desk by pressing on the card on the top right hand side of your screen right now, and that will take you to my cable management video where I drilled the 2 holes in my desk. And that is by no means a tutorial video. It is it's what not to do, but nevertheless, you know, the holes in my desk, I didn't ruin my desk in the process. This has improved my cable management tremendously. I mean, my keyboard looks wireless, and so does my mouse and mouse mat, which my mouse actually is wireless, but my mouse mat also looks wireless now too, which is very, very nice. Moving on, we have my soundbar right here. Now, I do have a review on the channel of the actual soundbar, if you want to go check that out if you are interested in buying one perhaps. This is the Sound Blaster X Katana RGB gaming soundbar from Creative, thanks to all of the RGB lights at the bottom of the soundbar right here, which look very, very pretty and help match the entire theme that I have around my setup, which is basically like an RGB theme, as I have like RGB keyboards, RGB soundbar, RGB PC case with like tons of LED lights inside of it. I have a radiator, you know, like all these RGB peripherals and lighting options and stuff like that all over the room. And this soundbar just helps tie it all together really, thanks to its RGB lighting on the bottom of the soundbar, which is very nice. And the soundbar itself, very loud. Pairing the soundbar with the subwoofer, and oh my god, it is unbelievably loud. I have never ever even gone close to the max volume of the soundbar, as my neighbors would probably call the police, as this is just unbelievably loud. Even on like volume 20%, the bass that the subwoofer produces is just out of this world. So yeah, this is a very, very good soundbar. It is a little bit expensive, they're coming in at around £250 once again, but it's a very good soundbar. If you're looking for a soundbar and you're like me and you didn't have any space on the left or right hand side of your desk for dedicated like speakers, check out the soundbar or soundbar options. You know, soundbars are good. They're not that common in setups, but they're really good. Moving on to the right hand side of the soundbar, you may see this clock thing. Now, most people think that this is just a regular like digital clock that I have underneath my monitors right here. However, this is actually an Amazon Echo, so it has the voice assistant built into it, and you can do a ton of different stuff on here. So if we scroll over, we can see the weather in my town right now. We can see like things to try, you know, try how far is London from Paris. Finally, we have my Google Calendar synced up with Amazon Echo, allowing me to check my calendar through Amazon Echo, which is really cool. And at the moment, it's currently telling me my vidIQ monthly bill is coming up. And if any of you are wondering what vidIQ is, it is a Chrome extension that I use to like help grow my channel. And if any of you are also interested in like improving the amount of views you get and just like increasing your channel's popularity, check out vidIQ. I have a link in the description down below. It is an affiliate link, by the way. So be sure to check out vidIQ if you are interested in like growing your YouTube channel ever so slightly more, as their service and their Chrome extension has helped my channel tremendously. So thanks vidIQ, thanks for creating your service. It's really helped my channel a lot. Moving on, let's check out the monitors that I have in my setup right here. So these are the Asus VN247HA 60Hz panels. They are VA panels, so the color reproduction on these monitors is actually pretty good. The blacks are quite deep and stuff, the colors look amazing on these monitors. They are only 60Hz, unfortunately. They don't have G-Sync or FreeSync or anything like that, unfortunately, as these are pretty cheap monitors. However, you know, VA panel, they're still pretty good. They can overclock to 74Hz, which I've currently got them set to. So, you know, it's not too bad. The monitors really do get the job done. I mean, I have 3 1080p monitors right here. I've basically overclocked each one of these monitors right here to their maximum potential. So I've currently got these 2 running at 74Hz and this one runs at 67Hz. So yeah, there's my monitors. Link in the description down below to my monitors, of course. And as you can probably see that these 2 monitors don't have a stand. And that's because all 3 monitors are mounted onto a Novatech triple monitor desk mount that is only available in the UK. So for other countries, I've left like alternatives that you guys can check out on Amazon. But this is basically just a triple monitor desk clamp that I've like clamped to my desk to hold up all 3 of my monitors. And a lot of people worry about like the desk that I have and how it can actually support 3 monitors, like all this stuff, as well as like a very, very heavy PC. So as I mentioned earlier, I do have the IKEA Linmon 2-meter desk. I believe the tabletop itself is only around £30, if not less. So the desk itself is super, super cheap and it looks great. A lot of people worry about the actual sturdiness of the desk. You know, from my experience, I've been using this desk for quite a few years now, and you know, it's pretty sturdy. It does wobble a little bit, but nevertheless, for a desk this cheap, it is very, very sturdy. It holds up 3 monitors via a clamp at the bottom there. It holds up my PC just fine, you know? I've had no problems with the desk whatsoever so far. If I ever do have any problems with the desk, I'll be sure to let you know. But I'm sure that if anything actually goes wrong with the desk, that everything will just collapse and I think my entire setup will just fall apart and break. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but so far the desk has been very sturdy and you know, I've had no problems with it whatsoever. Moving on to my webcam right here. This is the Logitech C920 webcam, a very old webcam, a little bit outdated at the moment. However, you know, it's a 1080p webcam, 30 FPS, 1080p, you know, decent little webcam. I think I picked it up for only around £27 on Amazon Prime Day. So I got it for a pretty good deal. And the webcam itself, you know, it's a webcam. I can't really say much about it. It's plugged into my PC at the back of my motherboard. And it also has 2 LEDs that light up on the side right here that I can demonstrate to you if you're interested. If I launch OBS, you'll see that the LEDs on the side of the webcam light up, as you can see right there. They both lit up just now, so yeah. The webcam has LEDs, they're not RGB unfortunately, but yeah, there's the webcam, pretty cool stuff. To the left of the webcam we have my microphone right here. Now this is the Audio-Technica AT2020 microphone, which is powered by USB. Now this isn't like an XLR microphone, there is the XLR version that you can pick up if you want to. However, I'm currently just using the USB version of the microphone. I've had this mic for many, many years. The build quality of the microphone is phenomenal. The sound quality is pretty good, as you can probably tell, as I record all my videos using this microphone. And it picks up the sound relatively well, no matter like where I am in the actual room. So there's the microphone that I'm using, pretty cool stuff. The microphone is mounted onto a shock mount from eBay, which was like £5. And then that's mounted onto a microphone arm that's also from eBay that I bought many, many years ago. And this microphone arm is once again like super, super cheap, probably like £10 or something. So the entire like microphone setup is pretty cheap. The microphone itself only goes for around maybe £100 nowadays. Actually, I'm not even too sure if they still make the AT2020. There are the newer models like the AT35 that you guys can check out if you want to buy a microphone like this one. They're all pretty similar, but I believe the AT35 probably sounds ever so slightly better than the AT2020 right here. Now let's talk about my cable management. So, at the moment, the setup probably looks amazing, right? Like, you can't see a single cable inside. My keyboard wires are hidden, my mousepad wire is hidden, and you don't see any cables dangling along the wall right here. or you don't really see any power switches or anything really. However, if we look underneath the table, oh my god, what is that? So, at the moment, all the cables are kind of like jumbled up in a big mess. I am working on improving this at the moment. Don't you worry, this is not going to stay like this forever. I bought a bunch of cable management accessories that I'm going to be mounting to the bottom of the desk to help resolve the chaos that is underneath my desk right here. So that's my cable management underneath the desk, if any of you were wondering, but the entire setup is not powered from here. You may have noticed that there is a cable trunking kit right here, and that houses a ton of power cables that power each of my monitors and my PC. Right, so the entire setup is actually powered over there. Now, if we go over here, we have 2 sockets, one for my PC and one for a 10-port power extension that is connected to another power extension, and there's a lot of power extensions in the setup basically. So all these cables right here run through another cable trunking kit that I've installed in the corner of my room here a couple days ago. This power extension also has 6 USB ports that I use to charge my phone when I go to bed, and I also have a micro USB cable that I use to charge my portable battery bank from Anker right here. So I have a 3-port power extension right here that powers all my monitors. That is connected to a TP-Link smart plug, allowing me to turn my monitors off via my Amazon Echo. And that smart plug is plugged into a 10-port power extension that is sitting inside of this cable management box right here. And if you're wondering where you can pick up a cable management box just like these, I'll be sure to leave a link in the description down below so you guys can go check out these cable management boxes from D-Link right here that are housing my power extensions. My BT Infinity 2 router right here is also connected to the 10-socket power extension, and this just provides me with internet. And to the left of the router, we also have my spare battery charger for my Canon G7X Mark II camera that I'm currently recording this video on. So I have 2 batteries for the camera, one that's in the camera of course, and one that's currently recharging, so that I can swap the batteries out later on if I need to. And that's pretty much it for this setup. I do have tons of plans for the setup and things I want to improve and add to it, including the Nanoleaf LED lights above the entire setup. I think they would look amazing. As well as like upgrading to Philips Hue with all my LED strips right here. That would be very handy, as I could control all the LED strips through Razer Synapse, thanks to Razer's collaboration with Philips Hue. So that's all real cool. I've got tons of plans for the setup. So the next setup tour will most likely come at around July time, maybe August, maybe September at the latest. But that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I'll be sure to have another setup video uploaded in the next couple of months or so, as I mentioned earlier. Be sure to check out my other videos as well if you are interested in more in-depth reviews of these products. So thank you very much for watching and hope to see you in another video soon. Goodbye.
We'll be right back.